welcome here. So in today's video I'm gonna be giving you the first trimester update. Right now I'm in my almost in the end of the second trimester, but we will be only talking about first trimester, how it was, what I experienced, what were the weird things, what were the symptoms, how I coped, all the things that will give you the glimpse how it can be for some people, and also it will give you some ideas which can help you as well in going through the first trimester, because it is totally different for all the women. However, I had the same experience with our daughter as well in my first pregnancy, so I knew what to expect. So I was mentally prepared that this could happen to me again, because my first trimester was definitely very intense. Now this video is not to scare anyone. In the starting from week 4 to week 6, the starting of week 6, it was all fine, and I thought like it's just like a miracle that I'm having a very easy pregnancy, but it was not. I did not have any symptoms, anything, but I was craving vitamin C more naturally, so I used to have lemon water, oranges, and anything citrus, I mean. So yeah, that was it. And by the mid of the week 6, actually I started feeling morning sickness, and I was puking like 3-4 times in a day, which was fine, because this is what most of the women feel and go through. So I was fine, but when it got increased to 7 and 8 vomiting in a day, in the mid of this week 6 only, I went to the doctor, the family doctor, and asked for medication, because I still didn't have any midwife appointment. They were supposed to see me on week 12. So the only option left was either emergency or family doctor. Our family doctor is a really great one. So he gave me daclactin, which is a very safe pregnancy nausea medication. So I started having those, and it worked for 4 days, and it was completely fine. But by week 7, daclactin stopped working on me, and I was in a severe nausea again in this pregnancy. So then I started puking like 10 times, and I was like, maybe it will happen only for 2 days, 3 days, and if I'll rest, I'll go back on track. That's what I felt. So we ignored going to emergency. If you have midwife or your OBGYN over here, they are very strict with the appointments. If anything happens, you will have to directly go to emergency if it is a kind of emergency. So then we started feeling kind of emergency, because then I started puking in the mid of week 7 almost 17, 18, 19 times, and I couldn't keep water down, food down, even the motion made me nauseated. So we went to emergency and had IV. So this is what we did for 2 days, and they gave me not so pregnancy safe medication just to stop the nausea, so that we can work on other medication and survive, basically, because after puking that many times, it's very hard to even think that you're gonna survive. So now I'm laughing, but those were really tough days. But yeah, so ended up in the emergency 2 times, and then they shifted me. They recommended me to go to the nausea and vomiting clinic here in Surrey, and it is a really great one. The staff is epic. So when they enrolled me over there, the nurses were really good, no doubt. The particular one nurse that I had got, she was strict that we can only keep you here for 2 days, because it is outpatient care and all of those, you will have to start eating and drinking by yourself. And she didn't knew what kind of sickness I had in the previous pregnancy as well. So yeah, I was not having anything. She kept me on giving fluid for 2 days, but then I started losing ketones. Ketones are like when your muscles break down, and they can see in the urine test. They had to run multiple urine tests and blood work to see if everything is fine or not. However, I was not concerned about how baby will be doing, because as the doctor says, and as per my experience, baby get everything from your body. They suck everything to develop if they are healthy. And my pregnancy was very similar to my first pregnancy, so I know that baby is gonna be fine. All I need is to survive. So they kept on giving me IV fluid for 3 straight weeks, every alternate day or in every 2 days. And for the first week, when we started from mid of the week 7 to mid of the week 8, I couldn't have water, I couldn't have any small snack as well, not even a fruit, nothing at all. I was totally dependent on IV. Then I started having salty snacks after 8 weeks. And but because I was losing a lot of ketones, they had to put me on a routine of 3-4 medication, which actually doesn't start working immediately. It start working after a week. So that was really challenging. I was doing everything to make this nausea stop, having IV, following the routine. I was in a strict routine. I had to put alarms to take medicine, like 8 to 9 times a day. I used to have 12 meds in a day, and it was a time. But yeah, eventually after a week it started working. And so week 7 to week 10, mid of week 10, it was the toughest time I could ever experience, I would say. But Nimish and Nirvi, they were doing all good. They were very cooperating. Nimish was doing everything, from household work to his own work, and taking Nirvi to school, dropping me to the hospital. But yeah, we stayed strong as a family, and that worked. But from week 11, actually I started getting little bit of energy, because I had an appetite to eat. So I started having snacks, not a proper food, because proper meal used to make me really sick. So I started snacking on food, little bit, like having one chapati and sabzi, and having just dal and sabji. After that, like 2 hours, and then after 2 hours having just bread and chai and all of those. So this is how I did. I'm gonna be talking about what are the things that helped me, and what are the things that doctors had also suggested me. I'll come back to that point, but I'm just over here done with my weekly update. And but still I didn't have very much energy from week 11 to week 12 as well, to go and move around the house a lot and work a lot. I used to just prepare food, little bit of taking care of Nirvi, not more than that. Then after week 13, I started feeling a lot more energetic, like I used to have proper meals. I still kept my portions small, because otherwise I used to feel nauseated again. And this is what actually doctors also recommend, having small portions of meal throughout the day instead of having big meals 3 times a day when you're pregnant, because the structure of your body, internal body, changes a lot, and you cannot handle the heavy meals. So that's what I did. And now I will talk about the weird things that happen in the first trimester. The very first thing is, I used to brush my teeth like 6-7 times in a day, and I had shared about that in Instagram as well. I have a highlight where I've saved everything, like queries and updates. If you are on Instagram, feel free to follow me. I'm saving all the updates and everything over there, so you can check anytime out, even if you're watching this video after a year or two. So everything is there on Instagram. And yeah, so actually I used to brush teeth because I didn't like taste of anything. I used to crave salty food because my naturally BP was low. I was not hydrated, so salt is something that you crave a lot, and juicy fruit is something that you crave a lot. So I used to crave fresh fruits, fresh berries, but mostly salty food, and I didn't like taste of anything after having it. So as soon as I'm done having my snack or lunch, I used to go and brush my teeth. That really helped. And actually my doctor had also recommended by me to brush my teeth more, because if you develop a taste of nausea, or after puking, when you have a weird taste, it makes you more nauseated. So yeah, that I followed. And the other weird thing, all the fragrances which I used to love, like rose smell and lavender smell and orange smell and lemon smell, I hated it. I still cannot take intense lavender smell, but I hated it so much. All I wanted is the fresh natural air in the house. Even the food that was cooked in the home used to make me throw up a lot. And poor these guys, they I couldn't say that please guys don't cook, because that's the need. But yeah, it was really rough, and many people, women, experience about the particular smell they hate. Comment down below what kind of a smell you are hating if you're in a first trimester, or you hated when you were in a first trimester, because it's sometimes crazy. All your favorite fragrance becomes so weird. Okay, now I will talk about the things that really helped me in coping up. The very first thing is going out in a fresh air for 1 hour at least walk, because the walk actually keeps you not being bloated, because bloating is really common, and that also makes you nauseated sometimes in pregnancy. So that was helping, and the fresh air used to give me so much of peace that I loved being outside more than being inside, because even if you don't realize your house has a smell, and outside fresh air just feels so good if you are not enjoying any kind of smell in general. And the other thing is, I listened to my body and followed my cravings. Followed my cravings in the sense that my body was needing a lot of water and salt, and at that time when I was recovering from week 11 to week 13 14, so fresh berries from the walk when I used to go in the morning, or from the market, like strawberries and all, and watermelon helped me a lot in getting my BP on track, and also my vitals on track, because I was low in potassium and many other things. So now I'm back, and what thing that helped me is not caring about food at all. Generally, it is advised by every doctor to have healthy food and avoid certain food in the pregnancy. Definitely avoid the things that are not safe, but I also recommend everyone to not force yourself to only eat healthy in the first trimester, because it is a survival period for many women. Just go slow with the portions and have salty snacks, have lemon, whatever you're craving. It is a survival period. Don't too much go on like keep fresh food I have to eat. If it is a prepackaged food, anything that can keep you full and surviving is fine in the first trimester. You can think about it later, and that is why also it is recommended to have prenatals 6 month starting 6 month prior to your trying for the baby. And I think it's really important, and thankfully I did it. Like I started a year ago following my not a complete year, like I would say 8 months prior to started trying for a baby, and it really helped, because I knew this is something that I could go through, and at least my body had all the nutrients that baby needed to develop its body. So yeah, that's what I highly recommend if you're still trying, and if you're still figuring out to have a baby or not. And if you're watching this, do not get afraid, do not get fearful about the symptoms. It is something that you will rejoice for your entire life, that your body went through such hard time, but it is also so worth. Even like when I think about my starting journey, I mean the first trimester with my daughter in this pregnancy, it's horrible to even think about it. Now I'm smiling on it, because I know it's all gonna be so worth having that child. So yeah, do not get afraid, and start having prenatals if you are still in a process of conceiving and all. And the other thing that I forgot to mention, that after 8 weeks 7 weeks I couldn't have prenatal vitamins, because it had iron, and that used to make me so sick. I used to throw up more having a prenatal vitamin. So I'm glad that I had it from the 8 months before conceiving, so that helped. And also now my like iron level was on boundary, so I'm having only the iron supplements, not prenatal anymore. And I'm totally dependent on the freshly home cooked meals. So this is how it was my entire first trimester. I hope you enjoyed this video, please share it with your friends who are considering to conceive or are in a first trimester and is struggling to cope up with. I hope that will give them little bit of cheer that everything will be fine in second trimester. As soon as you hit the first trimester mark, things start getting better. Don't worry too much, have a faith, and everything is gonna be so worth in the end. If you have any queries, by the way, let me know in the comment section. I would love to help you out. And if you have multiple questions, you can still write it in our points or DM me on Instagram. I would love to reply you through the voice note, because that is the most interesting thing I enjoy so much on Instagram. So yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.